Hello everyone, welcome. Rabbi Abe here with another video. Now today we're going to be speaking about why do good people suffer according to the Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. Now there are some very definite principles that the ancient sages explained as to why a person suffers and what we can do about it, why we suffer, what we can do about it. So we're going to speak about 5 or 6 points that if you apply these 5 or 6 points to your life, I guarantee you, you will not only suffer less, you will likely open up new, more, better opportunities for yourself, and you might even see a miracle or two. So let's go into it. Why do good people suffer? Well, I'm going to try to be delicate here and try to go into this gently, but the very simple fact is we are not here to be good people. That's not why we're here. We're not here to be a good person. You know, a lot of people avoid spiritual teachings or different religions, and I'm not here to sell you on any religions. After all, God is not religious, right? God is not a Jew, not a Christian, not a Muslim, not a Buddhist, not a Hindu, not a whatever, okay? The universe doesn't operate that way. These are merely tools. Religion can offer people tools if there's unity and love involved. Well, I guess I had to say that. So what are we here for? If we're not here to be good people, I mean, again, this good person idea is used as the scapegoat. I think, personally, my opinion, it's an excuse to not have to do other things that actually we know innately that we need to do. I'm a good person, and that's what I call the good person religion, and, you know, that's it. Well, hey, you know what? If it works for you, I'm the last person to tell you to change anything, okay? But if it's not working for you and you're wondering why that you're a good person and things aren't going the way you'd like them to go, then listen till the end of the video. So we're not here to be good people. We are here to do what we came here to do. Now, what does that mean? Let me give you an example. Now, let's say I go to the gym because I really want to work out. I want to tone myself, build myself, and I'm excited about it. And I go and I do like this with a piece of paper. So what's going to happen? The answer is nothing. That's the answer. Why not? Well, you and I know that if I want to build something, I need some weight. Okay? So if we want to build anything, we need a challenge because the weight challenges us. Now, innately, we don't really like to be challenged unless you're born in the sign of Sagittarius. Then you like a good challenge, but that's the exception to the rule. You have other issues. But challenge, and some challenges we do like maybe or enjoy, like the gym, because we desire to go to the gym. But other challenges we don't necessarily like. Now, some of us don't like confrontation. Some of us don't, have difficulty with maybe our children or saying no. Some of us have issues being taken advantage of. Some of us have, and again, saying no is a big deal. I know lots of us said yes when we really wanted to say no. Ask yourself why. Some of us need to feel good or approval from others. I mean, life is filled with challenges, okay? Asking for a raise or talking to a client or dealing with difficult people. The list is endless, obviously, of challenges that we go through in life. Relationship challenges. There are many. What is the purpose of challenge? The rule is this. Challenge never comes to take anything away from us. Challenge never comes to take anything away from us. The opposite. Challenge comes in order to give us more. Now, that's a cosmic rule. Now, I don't want to go into health challenges at the moment, but suffice to say for now that emotional challenges and stressors that we don't deal with definitely can turn into physical challenges, health challenges as well. So let's break it down into different types of suffering, okay, shall we? So suffering we'll break it down into two categories: suffering before the fact and suffering after the fact. Now, what do I mean? What do I mean by that? Well, I'll give you an example. I was confronted in 6th grade, I was confronted, or I was challenged, I should say. I took it as a confrontation with a play that we were doing in the 6th grade, and the teacher wanted me to play the singing role. It was, in fact, the lead part in the play. And I was so painfully shy as a kid that I said, no, nothing doing. I'm going to work the lights backstage. That's what I did. Now, there was the pain and the stress and the fear of looking towards that challenge. And I said, no way, it's not happening. And that was that. But there was a long-term pain afterwards when I became a little bit more knowledgeable and I became a little older and so on. And I began to go back and say, you know, things might have been different. Who knows? Right? I may have been a singer. There was a remorse of sorts and a pain. Probably it won't go away, but I've learned to use that, as perhaps you can see. I've learned to use that pain in a positive way. But had I not done that, I may have had regrets for who knows how long. You understand? In other words, after we go through something, we have to carry the after effects with us, whatever they might be. Now, so there's a discomfort, a pain, the pain of challenge, which if we avoid, becomes a weight on our head. It's actually a weight on our soul. It's a spiritual weight. It's an energetic weight. Now, where does suffering, longer-term suffering, comes from? It comes from the accumulation, and this is a principle number 1. Suffering is an accumulation of opportunities that were difficult for me, and I avoided them. And I avoided them. So there were many things that I could have done, I should have done, I didn't do. Because I was afraid, because it was too uncomfortable, because it was against my nature, because it was just plain old easier not to do it. Again, suffering and stress, and God forbid, even many health problems are the result of an accumulation of all those things that I should have, would have, could have done, but I avoided them because they were too uncomfortable for me. I felt, no, it's too much for me. So there's a side note here, a rule that the ancient Kabbalists teach, that nothing will ever come your way if you cannot handle it. Now, that's a deeper idea in mystical Judaism, but suffice to say, you won't see something that you can't see, and nothing will come to you that you don't need or that you can't do. Why? The way we say it is, it's your vessel. You can only recognize, it's almost like saying you can only recognize things in other people, which you at some level have. You can only see what you see, and what comes to you and what we attract in our life is only a result of our own consciousness. Keep that in mind. It may help push you next time something comes your way and you want to say, oh no, I can't handle it. Well, just understand that that's not true. That's not true. You choose not to, that's another thing. But you can handle it. That can inspire you sometimes, okay? Number two, to be aware. To begin to remove the suffering, to begin on the pathway of removing the suffering, I must start voluntarily, underline the word voluntarily, voluntarily doing the things that are difficult, uncomfortable for me, against my nature, confronting, taking on the challenge in whatever comes my way. In other words, it's like beginning to work out in the gym. Now, I need to explain an extremely important idea over here, because when we are confronted with a challenging situation, usually we're not excited about it, the opposite. It's a drudgery, it's a dread, and we don't like it. And it's like, okay. Now, remember, it's uncomfortable now, but it will likely be more uncomfortable later, even if I don't see it right away. Because when you need to do something, you need to do it. That's the bottom line. If it came to you, there's a reason for it. Okay, you can run away now, but it's going to create anxiety, it's going to create issues, it's going to create pain later. So I don't want to say you may as well do it, but no. What if it would be pleasurable? Imagine if your great challenges or difficulties or confronting things would actually, if they could be, pleasurable, and that you would look forward to new challenges. How much pain and suffering would that alleviate in your life? I'm going to show you how right now. Let's think about it for a second. What creates the painfulness in a challenge? What is the painfulness? Well, let me give you a scenario. You're out on a date with someone who you really like. I mean, it's amazing. And you're with them for 3 hours. And the time goes by like nothing. Ask yourself a question. What causes that? Time to fly. What causes time to fly? Again, now this can have many layers of understanding. But desire is a very important key over here. When our desire is open, when I want to spend time. I'm enjoying myself. I really like this person. Amazing. I have a desire. When we have a real desire and the craving even for the moment that we're in, we're drawing God's energy, God light. We're drawing the light in the universe. We're drawing, and where we have that light, there's no time, because there's no time in energy. There's no time in the spiritual world. We're connecting to it. And when we're connecting to it, the more we connect to it, the less time there is. The less time we perceive. We don't feel it. It's like, wow, it just goes by. 3 hours can go by in a minute. We've all experienced it. On the other hand, imagine the opposite scenario. Someone fixed you up on a blind date, and this is not really the person you want to be with, but you're kind of stuck for whatever reason for the next 3 hours. Well, those 3 hours with someone who you have nothing in common with, you don't really like them, and you don't like anything about them, those 3 hours can feel like an eternity. What's the difference? And the answer is very simple. Your desire is closed. It's closed. If our desire, which is our consciousness, is closed, we can't draw any energy. We don't draw God's light with no desire. We don't draw the energy of the universe if our desire is shut down. So how can I open it up? Well, I just first want us to understand. If it's shut, it's going to take I'm going to feel dread. I'm going to feel painful just making the decision, whatever I'm confronted with. So what do I need to do? Learn to love the moment. Understand, you know what? There's energy in every situation. In fact, especially the most difficult situations. But the way our, tikkun, our correction, our karma, however you want to discuss it now, I don't want to go into that idea, but it came to us for a reason. This difficult, challenging situation, difficult person, fearful scenario, whatever it is, came for a reason. What's the reason? Well, I need to take it on and figure out what to do with it. But I don't want to change. I don't want to, yes, let me at it. Fake it. It's absolutely okay. I want it. I'm excited for this challenge because I know there's energy here that wants to come to me. But if I'm shut down, if my desire is closed, I can't get it. I cannot tell you how important this is. If you try this, it will alleviate 90% of your pain, 90% of the suffering. Doing the action that you didn't want to do before will become not only easier, it will net you great light, great energy, and likely you will see something that you will understand as a miracle for you. Listen to what I'm saying. It works that way. It's a great secret. So when we open our desire to the moment of the most difficult point, things will begin to take on a life of their own. You'll get new strength. You won't even understand maybe, but things will begin to move along with a synchronicity in a miraculous way. The more difficult the situation, and you rise above to love the moment in order to open yourself up, open your desire, even if you don't like it. Again, pretend it's the gym. You wanted to work out, and it's very difficult, but you're excited about it. Yeah, but this is not the gym. But yes, it is. It's the life gym. Every situation, challenging, is a weight. We need to look forward to it in order to move on, to go to the next step in our life, to get bigger, to get happier. Because that's what creates happiness in the end of the day. Us doing the things that we actually came to do. So please remember, the very important step, and this is step 3, open up your desire by looking forward, by liking, by loving the moment of the challenge. It will open you up to the energy that wants to come your way, okay? If we avoid it, remember, if we avoid it, there's nothing good at the other side of that. There's nothing good. Nothing good. It's an instant moment of gratification. I got out of that. No, you didn't. All right? We never get out of anything. It's always going to be there at some point. Okay? Number 4. The main thing to realize is that whenever we face a challenge, it might be scary. It might feel bad. But in the end of the day, it's nothing compared to what would be after, right? The whatever apprehensions I might have before, well, it's usually nothing compared to after if I don't do it. In other words, there's more suffering after if I don't do. Again, not immediately, but after. Regrets, remorse, you name it. That's what comes after. That's an important thing to keep in mind. We need to use our intellect to get us to move and push things along. Remember the principle. We did not come here to be good people. Then why are we here? We are here to overcome our nature in the challenges that we are given and open ourselves up to them in order that we can connect to that great storehouse of energy that there is in store to reveal more and more of ourself and the energy that's available for us. And that's what we were given to do. That's why we're here, to reveal that light that's waiting at the other side of every challenging situation. Be blessed, guys, and remember always, where your head is at, that's where you're at. Give my video a thumbs up if you like it and share it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I'm looking forward to see you in the next video.